Islam Makhachev. Fuck, dude goes up one weight class, goes up to 170. He was the 55-pound most dominant champion ever, most title defenses at 55 ever. Just dominates at 170, like every round. People are saying it's boring, but listen, man, it's boring if you're a casual. The fact that he was able to do it every round, it was a little frustrating because you wanted Jack to try to adjust, but he.
UFC 330. Ian Gary gonna beat Makhachev by decision. I don't know if it's unanimous decision, split decision, but it's gonna be a decision.
No, you got it. You got
I'm
it.
out. Islam's gonna beat the brakes off him, and then he's gonna start eating meat and be like, oh my, I listen to my wife and watch it. His arc's
gonna have his hands
great.
full. We'll see. If Islam tries to stand and trade with him, he's gonna get.
Why would Islam do that? Why would Islam do that? Islam's too smart.
Well, I think if I'm Ian Machado's Gary's camp, and I should be, I would tell him, I want you to front kick the fuck out of his face.
Yeah.
Kick him right in the goddamn chin.
Yep. Because Islam's never seen that before.
Not from Ian Machado Gary. That's a long leg.
Big.
Teep him.
I'm out. Him throwing those vegan up kicks, I'm out.
Bop, bop, bop.
Zesty up kicks.
Long noodle arms. Shoom. All that energy
I'm
in
out.
the face. Bop, bop,
I'm out.
bop.
Them zesty up kicks, I'm out.
What does Islam do? Just grab his leg?
Whatever he wants.
What do you mean?
Whatever he wants.
Really? You got Islam 100% on this?
I'm out.
If you weren't out,
I'm out.
if he was a meat-eating guy who actually believed that a man should be a man with, a traditional man in the household.
Yep. But he's not, so I can't.
Who is your... What,
Islam's going to submit him under 3.
under 3?
Under 3.
Minutes?
Probably gets
or
done.
under 3
No,
rounds?
3 rounds. I'm out.
Hard to deal with Islam. Keep him off you.
Very tough.
Especially against the cage. Closes distance.
And Brendan Allen, who trained with Ian, was like, I've grappled with him. He's like, hopefully he's gotten a lot better. He's like, because I'm not Islam. And
Yeah.
I had my way with him.
Who's Brendan Allen?
Top
I know. Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait.
Are we going to go into this fight believing Ian Gary is going to beat Islam? Because it's starting to feel that way. Just a little more and a little more. Charles Oliveira, just to throw a name at you, a guy that knows everybody, has the right to an opinion. He said Ian Gary's going to win. That's interesting. Ian Gary is a stand-up fighter from Ireland who idolizes Conor McGregor. So now we know everything we need to know about Ian Gary. He's a sharp shooter. He's going to use his hands. He's going to use his kicks. He can't do any jiu-jitsu. But then somewhere along the way, he started training with Damian Maia. And it was an interesting coincidence because he ended up on bottom against MVP with his back taken, but was never in trouble. So then we're going to go, okay, great. You had problems grappling with this guy, MVP, who's not a grappler. You got real big problems now because you're going to fight Rachmanov, who's going to expose everything that you don't know. And it turned out that punching and kicking Irish kid had spent some time in the wrestling room, right? I mean, he just looked better than we knew that he was. Enters the 5-round club, deals with it. And one thing that he had to deal with that night, Ian Gary has never fought where he was not bolstered up and he was the guy. Ian Gary's never done a ring walk where the audience knew this guy's overwhelmed. He's done that to other guys, but he's not been in that position. How does the guy do? Guys act one way when they're the favorite, but they seldomly act the same way as an underdog and vice versa. Some guys will do their best work as underdog. Some guys actually get drawn down when you got an audience saying, I don't know, this could be a hard one. That seeps into them. But it didn't seep into Gary. So how are you going to beat him?
But you know what? Let's talk about really right now what's upcoming, and the biggest news right now is the pound for pound king Islam Makhachev is back right now, and of course, Ali, and you know this was a fight that I truly wanted, because never before have you seen the pound for pound and the former pound for pound that close in weight to where this fight actually makes sense. And unfortunately, the fight didn't come to fruition, but the UFC decided to go with Ian Gary. Ian Gary poses a different kind of challenge. You know, he's long, he's ragey, he moves a lot. You know, he's not one of those guys that's gonna.
No, he's not. There. Listen, he runs a lot.
Yeah, well, he's not gonna one of these guys that's gonna stand there really and exchange shots, because obviously the danger in that, him getting clipped and potentially hurt. So this fight has been made. How did Islam feel about this fight? Was this necessarily the fight that he wanted? And how is preparation going for him?
Listen, at the end of the day, I think after this fight, the UFC is going to regret they made this fight, in my opinion. And they're going to look at your fight was against Duplessis, how you win 5 rounds, was a world champion at middleweight. And he's a difficult guy to fight, but Islam can make it really easy work for him. But I'm telling you something. Islam is working so hard. I never see him working as hard. And he got a lot better than last time I saw him. And he's very motivated. Very motivated. And I think he's fighting a guy who runs a lot. Islam have to punch him in the chest, take him down, pass his guard, mount him, and finish.
This, I feel like there's a lot to talk about for every aspect of this fight. Now, the striking, Ian Gary, what are the obvious things? Very tall, the tallest opponent that Islam has ever faced to date.
Yeah.
Habib and Islam also said that he's very hard to hit because he moves a lot. You know, he tends to run. And Islam said, the only thing in camp that I really haven't enjoyed is having to chase fighters down, because we're preparing specifically for Ian, and how much he uses the cage and kind of disengages and only really re-engages on his own terms.
Right.
But Islam's also a great striker in his own right. I think because his grappling's so good, he doesn't get a lot of credit for being a really good striker, and he actually is a very good striker. So let's start there. You know, it's going to be open stance mostly, left-handed for Islam, going to be fighting out of southpaw. Ian fights orthodox, so we're going to have an open stance likely for the majority of the fight, which I know you love to break those down.
Yes.
So what are you seeing on the striking in this one?
Yeah, this is really interesting. Ian Gary is obviously a great striker, and that's how he's been able to win most of his fights and get to a title shot. But Islam Makhachev's striking is actually slept on, and it's largely because he comes from Dagestan, and everybody knows Khabib was the guy who set the precedents, and they have great grappling from there. But the Dagestani strikers or fighters are becoming really high-level strikers. Just look at Usman or Magomedov.
More knockouts than any other method of victory.
Exactly. So I am actually loving how Islam's striking is coming along. His kicks are great. He's got really good discipline with his jab hand. So whenever he does throw a combo or closes distance to try to land some strikes, when he exits, he's really good about putting a jab in your face just to sort of keep you at bay. It usually doesn't land, but it's really good to get something out there and in the line of fire from what Ian Gary or anybody else in the past could have been able to throw.
No, but you know, the thing about Ian in Islam, he's so damn good on the stand-up. People are sleeping on his stand-up. Don't sleep on Islam's stand-up. I always say this kid, we can change him minute for minute, second per second per round, right? Like the one time when we went out there to fight in Vegas against was it the guy from American Top Team? I forgot his name, Brazilian guy. No, the Brazilian guy. Not Moicano. No, not Moicano. The one before him. Man. Anyways, but regardless, we're going out there, and the plan was to stand with him.
Okay.
Habib and I go always stand him. So we're walking out there, and I look at him, and I said, "Damn, we're bigger than him." So I tell Habib, change the game plan. We're not gonna stand with this guy. We're taking his ass down. So we tell Islam, take him down. We go in there, what happens in the fight? Islam takes him down and destroys him.
Yeah.
Because I felt we were the bigger, stronger fighter. So I couldn't do that with any fighter.
No.
Could not do that with any fighter. I can't do it with Islam. And that's what people...
With just 1 week before the fight between Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Gary becomes real, the discussion about this eagerly awaited bout reaches a whole new level. More and more fighters, coaches, and experts, including Brendan Schaub, Islam's team, and many more, are giving their analysis of the fight and speculating which one of them has enough skills to dictate the terms of the battle. With the beginning of the last stage of preparations, the stakes have gotten higher for both. Islam continues concentrating on demonstrating his supremacy in the welterweight class, while Gary aims at surprising his rival and all the skeptics.
When you open your eyes in the morning, how long does it take you until you think about the fight?
Can I answer that question by getting something? So, to answer your question on how fast from when I open my eyes do I think about my fight, it's as soon as I walk out of the toilet, and I just flip it over 9 days until I become a world champion.
But what do you make of Ian Gary's prediction of like, I will finish this thing later on. I will dominate early, and then I'll walk him through that finish, 4th or 5th round.
I feel like we've heard this every fight he's had, and doesn't happen. Like, he's just not that guy. Like, he almost finished Shavkat. Like, I mean, he was like 60% of Shavkat that day. I mean, let's be fair. Dude probably shouldn't have been fighting. And it's cost him a lot. No doubt about it. And Shavkat still found a way to win. Yeah, I mean, if Gary wins, it's going to be a forgettable fight. And this is not a knock. Go out there and win, man. Like, go be a champion. But the way you're going to be a champion is you need to kick and run. Like, stay away from that dude, because if Islam Makhachev wraps his arms around you, you are going for a friggin' ride, and you're probably not getting up. So, yeah, man, we'll see what happens. Can Gary stay on his feet? Can he run fast enough? Like, not even run. Can he move well enough so Islam can't get a hold of him? Because I don't care how much taller and how much of a reach advantage he has. Like, Islam is a hoss. He is stronger than Ian Machado Gary is. I can assure you of that. So, yeah, I think Islam wins somewhat easily, but it's been a weird year. Who the hell knows?
I mean, you couldn't even say this wouldn't be the biggest underdog win, would it? It'd be like Gaethje beating Topuria, Strickland beating Hamzat. So we've had the crazy flips and turns, and the next day people are like, I knew.
It comes down to trusting fighters who consistently show up with good fight IQ, good mindsets, and I do feel like I can never look at Islam and expect bad from him. I feel like he's always going to come with the right mindset, good fight IQ, and I'm expecting that in this fight. I don't want him to cater too much to the audience. I remember Movzar doing that against Lerone Murphy like a fucking dweeb. Like, some of these guys, it actually actively gets me frustrated seeing people trying to cater to a certain style to entertain the masses. I understand it as a contender coming up. It might be a hot take for me saying this, especially what bothers me is that Islam has never had a boring fight in his life, maybe outside of the JDM fight. So that's what's the most concerning. So but in those fights, Islam didn't force himself to do stupid shit. You still fighting like Islam. Of course, this fight is going to be a little bit different from every one of his fights because he's going to be coming forward, probably taking some counter shots, probably eating some counter punches, probably running into some obliques and some stomping kicks. But I do feel like Islam should go out there to win the fight at the end of the day. I don't want to see him go out there to have an entertaining fight or a fun fight. Be yourself. It'll come. You never had a boring fight in your life, barely. Like, what is your percent rate at entertaining fights? 99? Keep it at that, but...
Ali Abdelaziz, who is the manager of Makhachev, has weighed in on the fight, and it is obvious that he is not falling for the hype generated by Gary. According to Abdelaziz, while Gary will definitely move around a lot and will make it a tricky game to play, he did throw some insults at the welterweight fighter regarding his boasts. Gary went on and on about how he would bounce the head of Islam off the wall and finish the match in the 4th round, which Abdelaziz took up to show the gap between the man's record and his boasts. Beneath all the trash talk and predictions, Abdelaziz also admitted that Gary does indeed have certain physical advantages in his favor in this fight. As to where the Irishman is likely to be dangerous to Islam, it was Gary's footwork and ranginess that he highlighted straight away. With his height of 6'3", Gary also has the natural reach and height to trouble Islam on the outside. But Abdelaziz revealed that Islam has prepared himself to counter this by sparring with tall fighters like Jawal Alvarez and Usmanov. Whereas Gary's physique and athleticism have been a huge topic of discussion, the limelight around Islam has been equally as significant, considering the opportunity to set a new UFC record for consecutive wins. Yet according to Abdelaziz, Islam has not been bothered by all of this at all. In the words of his manager, Islam learned about the record fairly recently and has stayed away from the MMA media almost completely, concentrating solely on his workouts and battles. Notwithstanding all the hype around Gary, Abdelaziz concluded his statement with a rather harsh forecast, asserting that the Irishman was going to be overwhelmed after Islam grabs him. Believing that Gary is intentionally working to make the contest bigger through Ireland versus Dagestan scenario, Abdelaziz made a comparison between what Gary does and the old promotion style of Conor McGregor. While stating that Gary is working on the same concept without having the same credentials in the octagon, he took some jabs at Gary in terms of his trash talking, confidence, and personality in general. In the end of the video, he reiterated his prediction of the defeat for Gary and added that his opponent will lose a lot more than the fight itself when the time comes for the August 15 showdown. Although Ali Abdelaziz still holds high hopes that Islam will defeat Gary, there are a number of reasons why, according to Chael Sonnen, this fight will not be as easy as one would expect. Firstly, Sonnen considers the top strength of Gary to be a somewhat underestimated factor of this fight, since he possesses a strong base and good skills at not getting reversed. However, Sonnen puts more weight on the physical build of Gary, arguing that the importance of this fight is not only in size, but also in a significant height and reach difference. As Sonnen mentions, the Irishman is 6'3" tall. In addition, Sonnen sees the takedown defense of Gary being able to put pressure on Islam and possibly forcing him into a fight he would rather avoid. Sonnen notes that if Gary is able to maintain the fight upstanding, the striking match is going to be way more exciting than one could expect. In particular, it should be noted that Islam has already been in a situation where he was not able to execute a takedown and yet won such fights upstanding, proving that he is capable of competing under any circumstances. Nevertheless, Sonnen clearly sees what the preference of Islam is: bring the fight to the ground and establish the top position. On the other hand, Brendan Schaub took a much more personal and controversial angle when discussing Gary's public persona, joking about some of the Irishman's recent comments and questioning how much of it is actually coming from Gary himself. Schaub suggested that Gary may be heavily influenced by the people around him, particularly his wife, and even compared the situation to the movie Cape Fear. While the comments were clearly delivered with humor, Schaub's broader point was that Gary's personality and the way he presents himself have changed significantly, leaving him wondering whether the outspoken persona is completely authentic or partly shaped by those closest to him. Schaub's comments add another layer to the growing discussion around Gary's public image, but the conversation then shifts back to how this matchup came together. Islam's longtime coach, Javier Mendez, revealed that Gary was actually the name being discussed for the champion from the very beginning. However, Mendez explained that he has learned not to assume a fight is happening until the UFC officially announces it. He recalled past situations where camps believed a matchup was already agreed upon, only for the promotion to reveal that the other fighter had not fully committed. Because of those experiences, Mendez prefers to keep everything quiet until the UFC makes it official, even when a fight appears certain behind the scenes. Whereas Mike Heck has questioned Gary's prediction that he will dominate Islam early before securing a 4th or 5th round finish. According to Heck, this is something Gary has predicted in several of his fights, but it has rarely played out that way. He acknowledged that Gary came close to finishing Shavkat Rakhmonov, although the circumstances of that fight were unusual and Rakhmonov still found a way to win. Heck believes Gary's best chance against Islam is to keep his distance, use his kicks, and constantly move. In his view, standing in front of Islam is asking for trouble because once the champion gets his hands on Gary, escaping could become extremely difficult. Heck's biggest question is whether Gary can stay out of Islam's grasp throughout the fight. He believes Gary's height and reach will only matter if he can use them effectively, because Islam's strength could neutralize those advantages once they get close. Gary's movement will be crucial, but if Islam repeatedly gets his hands on him and forces the fight to the ground, Heck expects the champion to take control and secure a relatively comfortable victory. Despite the uncertainty surrounding the matchup, Heck still sees Islam as the clear favorite. So, who wins when Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Gary collide? Drop your prediction in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more UFC news and updates.